Hey guys, MC Mura here, and today we're checking out the March update balance changes for the SNK guys, Terry, Bogard, and Mai. And these two characters are very strong, so let's check out what Capcom did to them. Obviously, starting first with the universal changes to overheads, and again, all characters got this where there is more pushback, and they're only, if they happen to get blocked, obviously, and they're only +1 on a drive rush cancel on block, and you can't really check, right? So Mai got this change, Terry got this change, so every character got this, which is a good one, all things considered, in my opinion. Now, let's start first with Terry and what he got. So the first change is to his crouching medium punch, and now Terry's crouching medium punch has 15 recovery frames, right? This used to be 14, and at 15, I still think it's absolutely ridiculous. This is Luke's Season 1 crouching medium punch, by the way. It's so stupidly good. The hitbox and the disjoint on it is insane. So one more recovery frames should make it a little bit easier to whiff punish. I still think it should be at 16 or something. 15 is just one frame. That's not a big deal. Honestly, Terry is just, his changes are slaps on the wrists and some buffs in some other regards. Anyways, so the second change got to do with Terry's crack shoot, and especially because of his like burnout loop, right? When Terry does that sort of stuff, which was really good. So what they did is they increased the pushback on his light crack shoot. So what used to happen is you used to get 3 reps, right? But now, as you can see, the crouching jab will no longer connect. What makes this sequence very strong is that standing medium punch into light crack shoot is a true block string. So if I got Mai here to try to uppercut, that is uppercut. So Mai is gonna try to uppercut. Nothing comes out, right? But if I went for the medium to try to steal a turn and get closer, she can. So he can no longer just shib at you. The burnout block sequence is significantly reduced now because you can almost always mash the uppercut here. And if you try to be overzealous, if you try to overextend, DB comes out, you punish him. If he just did the light, it's a true block string, right? So that's a decent nerf, I will say. Ryo got something that's very similar. Round wave, that is this one. They reduce the pushback on hit, so that on hit Terry is left closer. So this is just like a consistency change to make sure that his combos are consistent. So that is a decent one. Now the final major change I would say to Terry, and this one is like really interesting, is a change to his power charge, right? The thing with Terry's power charge is that the heavy version can be cancelled into other special moves, right? This is kind of like the gimmick with Terry. So they made it so that you can also do that with the OD version. Typically what we used to do with Terry is you would do the OD into like a heavy punch fireball here. So I will do something like this. Into like, into flash knuckle, to whatever, burn knuckle. So this is typically what you did, right? And then Falon's juggle. So now you can actually cancel that into other special moves. Crack shoot. What I saw people doing, which is kind of hilarious, is that they would cancel into light crack shoot, and what you're doing here is that you're pretty much reducing the recovery. So then he can get like a drive rush into follow-up. This is one of these things where we're gonna have to test out, see what happens. But that's kind of like a hilarious way to use this. You know, there will be some setups where you can use that, right? Maybe I can go for a heavy punch into... Are you okay? Buster Wolf! So that's cool. But one cool thing about it is that now you can use the OD charge in the corner and maintain it. because Terry have a lot of setups. Like say that she's gonna wake up with a jab, right? Where you just do like drive rush, or you do just like meaty crouching medium punch, and you get two of them to connect. And at that point, you are forced to go into a medium charge, right? You gotta do that to keep the combo going. But now you can go for the OD, cancel into the heavy crack shoot, and because it jumps up like that, you cannot deny them going over you and escaping. Geyser, come here, Geyser! So yeah. So actually that is a sizably decent buff. And the final changes are more of like bug fixes, I will say. They pretty much made his level 1. Like once that connect, there is invincibility, and because there were some instances where like the opponent will jump and then they will hit you, and then they will be like in the stuck slow-mo. It's very hard to replicate, but if you play Terry, you probably have seen it. So I think that is really, really cool. They also adjusted his level 3. So that if you happen to combo into it from quick burn at a low height, kind of like that, it is gonna be more consistent. They pretty much made the startup faster, so that this is guaranteed to work. I still think Terry is probably gonna be amazing. Probably gonna be one of the strongest characters in the game still, because honestly I think he was slept on, and now things are looking up for Terry. Alright, so let's now take a look at the balance changes for Mai. And Mai obviously is one of the main public villains of this game, widely considered to be like the best character in the game, right? So we already talked about the change to overhead. Now let's talk about what actually changed with her kit. What happened with the fans? Because this is all what we wanna know. So there is some changes to how fans work, and I think they are interesting changes. They pretty much made all of the fans bounce higher. So this is a light fan, which now I think this used to trap you. Now it bounces higher, medium, higher as well, and the heavy fan bounces very high. So pretty much you're gonna have an easier time walking out of her pressure now. So even if she throws this, it's much easier to backwalk, right? It's much easier to backwalk because the bounce is much higher. And they also changed how this works in the corner, which is huge actually. Because the bounce is high, one of the things that Mai used to do is like she would knock you down with an uppercut and then do that and kind of keep you trapped there, right? This was a very common situation. But they changed the block advantage on the first fan. I think this only happens with the light, but I'm not sure. We're gonna have to test it out. But pretty much what they're saying is that it should be -5. So I'm gonna record her to block and then throw me. So this is a punish counter throw, right? I don't have punish counter on. So yeah, like if you try to go for a meaty light fan, this should, like meaty fans in general, this was a medium, so it's confirmed, right? If you try to go for like meaty fans here, this pretty much is gonna be like a punish. You're -5, so you're gonna get punish counter grabbed. And I think that is really, really cool because this used to be extremely overpowered. It's extremely safe way of pressure. But now, this actually, I think this is a substantial change for Mai. So that's the first one. And this happened with the OD version as well, where also the OD fan have higher bounce, where you're gonna be able to backwalk or escape out of it, right? The timing between the two fans is substantially increased. So I think you should have an easier time getting out of the way, right? These are the sort of changes where we're gonna have to play it out to see how it will affect the meta. Is the fans truly dead? We're gonna have to play it out. But the fact that the pressure in the corner is heavily reduced, it was one of the unique things about Mai, but also it was extremely oppressive, so that's a good change. Next up is the change to her light Ruyimbu. That is this move, which is like the spinny spin. So this move actually got a pretty good change. They improved the hitbox. So now this is a light version, but like, take a look at how far this is reaching, right? It's kind of like a DJ Sobat now, so it have a good range, which I kind of like this because it kind of mirrors her C+D in like King of Fighter games. It was like one of the most spammable moves for Mai. So this is now is good. And also, if this happened to punish counter, it does a ton of damage to the drive gauge. So it knocks down and does about 60% of a drive gauge, so that is really, really cool. I think they also said that it does have like lower body, it should be like it should treat favorable against like lower hitting moves. So yeah, that's a really cool change, right? I think that's a really cool change. They also buffed the heavy Ryembo. And this one is a crazy change to me. What they did pretty much is that they improved the juggle properties on the second hit, right? So what this means is that say that Mai got a knockdown, she's gonna get that now, meterless, right? Where prior she would need like better combos to get that, or like drive rush. That just happens now. So that is super duper uber good for her. And they also buffed this move once she got the level 1. So if Mai got the flame stocks now, she can combo lights. Let's actually turn the punch counter off. She can combo lights into the heavy Ryembo, which means that obviously she's gonna get the whole thing, right? Like into medium, into uppercut. So that's a big buff. That's a really big buff, especially since she will most likely get this from like a crouching light kick, something like this. So if she's checking you low, you're probably walking backwards. So the likelihood of this actually connecting from a light, I'll say, is high. So that that actually is a big change. They say they also reduced the forward movement on this one. We're gonna have to wait and see how this happened, but it seems to me like still got pretty good range. So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see how this one plays out. The final change is a change to her aerial dive kick, where they improved the hitbox so that juggles from like a medium punch should be more consistent now. So overall, Mai is... We're gonna have to wait and see. Like, with the changes to her fans, this is one of these things where we're gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. But I have a feeling that it should be a little bit less oppressive, and the pressuring by projectiles so that you're safe from level 1 and still having advantage. The fact that this is now gone, that actually is a big deal.